friends, I am Shasini, who is undergraduate in Java Institute. I am going to give you 6 videos about some points in web component development, which is known as also WCD. And this is the 4th video. Today I am going to talk about how to use Servlet Context. Let's start. How to use Servlet Context. First, talk about servlets. Servlet technology is used to create a web application. Servlet technology is robust and scalable because of Java language. Before Servlet, CGI scripting language was common as a server-side programming language. However, there were many disadvantages to this technology. We have discussed these disadvantages below. There are many interfaces and classes in the Servlet API such as Servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet, servlet request, servlet response, and etc. Servlet. What is a servlet? Let's talk about what is a servlet. Servlet can be described in many ways depending on the context. Servlet is a technology which is used to create a web application. Servlet is an API that provides many interfaces and classes including documentation. Servlet is an interface that must be implemented for creating any servlet. Also is a class that extends the capabilities of the servers and responds to the incoming request. It can respond to any request. And is a web component that is deployed on the server to create a dynamic web page. Servlet Context Interface. An object of Servlet Context is created by the web container at time of deploying the project. This object can be used to get configuration information from the web.xml file. There is only one Servlet Context object per web application. So it is very important point, that is, there is only one Servlet Context object per web application. If any information is shared to many servlets, it is better to provide it from the web.xml file using the context param element. Advantage of servlet context: easy to maintain. If any information is shared to all the servlet, it is better to make it available for all the servlet. We provide this information from the web.xml file. So if the information is changed, we don't need to modify the servlet. Thus, it removes maintenance problems. Usage of Servlet Context Interface. There can be a lot of usage of Servlet Context object. Some of them are as follows. The object of Servlet Context provides an interface between the container and servlet, can be used to get configuration of information from the web.xml file, can be used to set, get or remove attribute from the web.xml file, can be used to provide inter-application communication, like that. So you can see the web application deployed to the container, and container directly make a object, creates an object of servlet context. So container is on in a web server. Commonly used methods of servlet context interface. There is given some commonly used methods of servlet context interface. Public string get init parameter string name returns the parameter value for the specified parameter name. Second one, public enumeration get init parameter names return the names of the context initialization parameters. Public void set attribute within bracket string name comma object sets the given object in the application scope. Next one, public object get attribute within bracket string name returns the attribute for the specified name. Public enumeration get init parameter names brackets returns the names of the context initialization parameters and enumeration of string objects. Public void remove attribute within bracket string name removes the attribute with the given name from the servlet context. How to get the object of servlet context interface. Get servlet context brackets method of servlet config interface return the object of servlet context. Get servlet context brackets method of generic servlet class returns the object of servlet context. So here is the example how to use that. Syntax of get servlet context method and some example of get servlet context methods. Syntax to provide the initialization parameter in context scope. The context param element supplement of a web app is used to define the initialization parameter in the application scope. The param name and param value as are the sub-elements of the context param. The param name element defines parameter name and param value define its value. So here is some example, some code example for that. Example of servlet context to get the initialization parameter. In this example, we are getting the initialization parameter from the web.xml file and printing the value of the initialization parameter. Notice that the object of servlet context represents the application scope. So if we change the value of the parameter from the web.xml file, all the servlet classes will get the change value. So we don't need to modify the servlet. So it is better to have the common information for most of the servlets in the web.xml file by context param element. Let's see the simple example. Here is the demo servlet.java file and the code for that. Here is creating servlet context object and getting the value of the initialization parameter and printing it. Here is the web.xml. Example of servlet context to get all the initialization parameters. In this example, we are getting all the initialization parameter from the web.xml file. For getting all the parameters, we have used the getInit parameter names brackets method in the servlet class. We use brackets in the method. So here is the method name getInit parameter names. Here is the code example demo servlet.java file. Here is the web.xml. And this is the video how to use servlet context. And thank you for watching.